Hi everybody and welcome to Indigosky Holistic. I wanted to create a brand new welcome video for this brand new YouTube channel that I have been toying with the idea of creating for a little while, and I decided in the light or the darkness of the lunar eclipse energy that we are in here in March of 2025, it felt like the right time to do it. I had a couple of intuitive nudges and sort of prompts from spirit and divine source that this would be a good time to do it. So here we are. Hello and welcome to Indigosky Holistic. This video is to just introduce myself, and then I'm going to make another little video explaining why I decided to do the new channel as well. So thank you for showing up and clicking on this video and having a little watch. I'll tell you a little bit about me, who I am, and what I'll be sharing here on this YouTube channel. I am an intuitive, energy healer, holistic therapist, and lots of things. I use lots of things within those hats, if you like, to support people on their well-being journey. And as well as all of that, I am a mum of three, home educating mum of three, and a wife. And that comes into a lot of things that I do, because a lot of my support and experience as a energy healer, holistic therapist and mentor comes from my experience as a mum, as a self-directed home educating mum of three, including now 2 teenagers and 1 tween, I guess they call her. And the many things that I do as an intuitive support people to go within, get to know themselves, dig around sometimes in the shadowy parts of their story, and break free and create better and make better choices, even in a challenging experience, even in a life experience that may feel like it's less than ideal. I'm here to support you through that, to embody dreams, visions, wishes, hopes and desires that you may have to be the best version of yourself. Any dreams and any hopes that you have, you can create. I know this because of my own experience. And I am not there yet. I am not at the pinnacle of my hopes and dreams yet. I am just dabbling at the edge, seriously. But I've embraced a depth of hope and dream for myself, my family, those in my circle, that is growing and expanding as I grow and expand. And the times that we live in here in 2025, here in the 2020s, are really powerful times. A little bit about me. I grew up in strict Christian fundamentalist home. It wasn't all bad. I actually had quite an enjoyable childhood on the surface. I loved and adored my parents, but it was the 1970s, 80s. I was physically punished as a small child, which just on its own is pretty impactful. And don't ever let anyone tell you who was hit in childhood by a caregiver that they're not hurt by that it's not had some impact on them. It would be exceptionally rare for it to have not created some story in the subconscious mind that's affecting their belief in themselves or their fear of certain things. Not saying it's impossible, Just saying that. It's so unlikely. It's almost impossible. But it's totally possible to release those stories. That's what I've done. I've done that through support, through emotional clearing, through journaling, through meditating, through rewriting my subconscious mind, and rewriting my story even, to some extent, jumping timelines into a different timeline where that isn't my story anymore. But that's for a whole other chapter, video, story. So yes, I grew up in this fundamentalist Christian household where I believed that that was the truth. There is much more on my original channel on that, which I'm not going to be putting on this channel particularly. But yes, you can watch my videos on my original channel. On that, Davina Ketson XJW is where you'll find those stories. But it impacted me greatly, and I've spent 8 years this year, diving deep into that story. And that was where I realised that I was suffering from complex PTSD, that it wasn't just a little bit of childhood trauma, there was a lot of complexity to it. In the last 12 months, I really dove deep into a core belief that nothing I ever did was good enough, that I didn't have the right to my hopes and dreams, my deepest desires for my highest timeline, for my highest vision of what I can be. There was this core belief that I wasn't worthy of that. And a lot of what I teach is the result of me having released that and created a whole new story for myself on a subconscious level, which I'm still processing, playing with, creating for myself. And then I had this other realization during the course of digging in this core wound, that I'd never ever felt safe. I'd reached my mid-40s and never felt safe. And that was a big realization. It's a big realization to realize that your whole nervous system for your entire life into what's termed by some close to midlife, I'd never felt safe. And to realise that I'd been relatively happy up until my mid-20s. I actually knew how to be happy as a teenager. In my early 20s, I knew how to be happy. I was optimistic. I was the eternal optimist. But then because of certain aspects of my energy and my internal design, I took on a lot of stories from other people, a lot of energy and emotion from other people that I made my own, even though it wasn't. And that impacted my feelings of being safe. And then I left the fundamentalist Christian faith that I'd had and added to that with this belief that God was going to destroy me, or that I was cursed by him. And then I started to look at more alternative spiritual aspects, began to look at meditation, something I'd been warned against, and dabbling in those things, and astrology and energy and spirit being something that's part of us, that we're connected to and connected to everything. And just wow, that then I had to then dig into these other internal beliefs that I had, these subconscious patterns that was some sort of evil, and that was part of some sort of dark force that was gonna result in my destruction by God. All of that was all part of me that I had to move through to become more consciously aware of the energy that's part of us, and how we can connect into all these other ways of understanding the life that we're in. And that began to change everything. And I've looked at and learned a lot about the heart energy, the electromagnetic field from the heart and the brain, and how they combine together to start to create change for ourselves. And these are all of the things I bring together and teach and support people with through my sessions with me, mentoring with me, healing sessions. I'll even will come in, if people come in for an aromatherapy massage with me, we actually end up dabbling in some of the, people come in and see me for long enough, we end up dabbling in some of these ideas of like how we can ground and how we can begin to create change through our state of mind and our way of embodying change. And then as a mum, as a like super, I don't like the word busy, it's not actually my vocabulary, but it's a full-on life, being a home educating mum of 3, having a home, being the one who has the organisation skills to plan it all and get it all going and keep it all going. It's a full-on life. And I learned as part of my healing process that I had to prioritise me and to make me the most important, to be able to make them the most important. My children, my husband, to be able to make them, to give them what I most wished and desired to give to them, of my energy, of my time, of my skills, of my support and love even. I had to care for me first. And I had to prioritise that. And so that's a real fundamental foundation of what I teach and support. And it's why I have a 30-day process called Nurture Yourself, which is like really, it's simple and supportive and self-directed. I've not ran it in a group. I've ran it in a group in the past. I've not ran it in a group for a long time because self-direction is a really big thing of what I teach. So it's a self-directed process that you can purchase access to on my website, but you can also come to me for one-to-one mentoring and support through it as well. And that's like can be real powerful. Like that is something I feel people get a lot of benefit from, that one-to-one support when they're looking at expanding. Even if it's just through that, you can just book a free chat with me. If you've purchased that, and any of my offerings, there's often an option to have free chats with me. I mean, you can book a free chat with me for 20 minutes at any time. But you purchase one of my offerings, you can have a free 30 to 50 minute chat with me. And get that extra additional support, because you can bring to me your individual life circumstance and me say like, well, this is where you need to just tweak something to give yourself more time. And we can look at your schedule and your structure of your life so that you can be open to more possibilities for care of self. And that's one of the really big aspects of what I am here to do and support and teach people with. And I think that's it. That's the foundation of what I do and who I am. My hopes and dreams are to create a retreat centre where people can come and as families, because I think one of the fundamental missing parts that I see in communities, spiritual well-being places, retreats, is that they exclude children. And There's a real famous song out there, isn't there? The children are the future. The children are our future. And if we don't support them, nourish them, nurture them, and educate them to be empowered and have a different perspective on life. We're just repeating the same old stories over and over again that have been repeated for generations, and we're here for this time of change. So let's change the world by changing our stories and those for the next generations. So my hope, my dream, and my wish fulfilled is to have a home that welcomes families to come on retreat and learn how to know each other better, trust each other, and become self-directed. And that's like, as a home educated mum, as a home educated family, our most defined, if you want to put us in a box, I hate boxes, hate labels, hate boxes, but if you want to put us in one of them, the philosophy we most identify with is radical unschoolers. You can learn more about that on my other channel as well, my other channel. But that is the foundation really of unschooling, is learning to be self-directed. It's learning to trust those who we're educating, supporting through their education process, our children, to direct themselves to know what they want, what they enjoy, to establish interests, to establish passions and what excites them, and to follow that into their future, to create a life that they're excited about and that they most wish and desire to live into. And I truly believe everybody could follow their interests and their highest excitement into a thriving livelihood. And I'd love to see that for more people. The world isn't geared to that. And that's what this time of change is about, to create a new perspective and a new future and a new earth where people follow their interests and create magic for each other. And yeah, there are people out there in the world who love to do things that others of us consider boring, menial, too hard. There are people out there who just love cleaning, who love tidying up areas, who love numbers, who love all of those tasks that many of us think, well, nobody would want to be a window cleaner, nobody would want to be a bin man. But actually, there are people out there who love it. There are people out there who that is their highest excitement, because some part of their energy and blueprint and soul wants to care for the planet in that way. But we also teach everybody to not make a mess and to not chuck their rubbish on the floor and all of that as well. Like, if we were really truly consciously following our hearts and not doing what other people have told us to do, or fighting against what other people have told us to do, we'd want to look after the planet, and we'd want to look after our homes, and we'd want to look after each other, and we would be leading with our hearts. And I'm only one woman in a big world, in a big circle of great potential. But I could definitely support thousands and thousands of people to change their lives, and that's what I'm here to do. And that is what you'll find more of on this channel as it grows and expands. That's a little bit about who I am. Welcome to Indigosky Holistic. You can book a session with me. Links are down below to book a session with me, to have energy healing, mentoring. You can have a holistic therapy consultation to bring in together any of my other tools that can support you on your well-being journey. So if you have physical health conditions, you can come to me for aromatherapy and crystal therapy support to nurture you in a holistic way alongside your like medical doctor's advice and wisdom as well. There's a place for both, and I hope you enjoy this, enjoy my channel, and I will see you again soon.